Hey guys, what's going on? I hope everybody's having a fantastic Monday. I've got on my broadcast radio voice because that's how I roll, and I'm glad everybody's here. I've got to quit doing that.
But it's better than that.
Good news on the start, just on the down low, I have gotten my effects working. Check this out. So when people do cool shit, which y'all always do by coming, I can either do this or I can do this. Which is kind of obnoxious. Or I could do this or this. Edgy, I'm going to send you a link. I know you're probably naked doing something crazy, but Pocket Metal's going to try to jump in. He tell you what he's dealing with. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Um, it has to do with computers. And if we've all had a little bit of experience with computers, we know that they sometimes kind of foul up, right? So if you have terabytes and terabytes, which I don't know anything about computers, but I know that's a lot of data and I know that's a lot of art and a lot of work. Um, he's trying to recover a crash drive right now. Well, since about 3 o'clock. That dude that just works his ass off. I'm trying to get him to have a little heart to heart with my sweet daughter in the same thing that Pocket Metal does. She's very artistic. She's always been a great, great artistic person. And she graduated in graphic design. She did an internship her junior year and wasn't ready for it and kind of had a bad experience because she didn't like getting pushed around. And I finally told her that that was the way it is. But I want Pocket Metal because now she's working in a restaurant. She hadn't really gone out and tried to do what she's passionate about. So I want her to talk to Pocket Metal and just do it on her. Got your Mac, you got your skills, you got your portfolio. She's got like a year, or no, 4 years of awesome brand type shit. Why can I not do this tonight? Why am I having such a difficult time? Just so you guys know, the reason I was late, which I always try to be early. Check your messages, Shane. But the only reason I was late is I started to open my Dr. Pepper cherry, which is the bomb flavor that's about to go away because I'm having a hard time finding it. But it started getting all like somebody had dumped a bunch of Mentos in there, so it was getting real fizzy, and I had to like sit there and throttle the cap to keep from it blowing up on me. And I'm trapped in here, so I couldn't really move. It sucked. What's up, 5 Door channel member? Carco is in the house, channel member. Brother B Shady. Some of the killerest posts on Instagram too. He always has killer carries. Brother Jeffrey Dawson is in the house, channel member. We got Joseph S in the house. We've got Roman M. Hey guys, I know Rob's still going on, so I'm only here to kind of pick up the late night slack. Space Ghost, welcome, buddy. What did I hear about you today? It was positive. What what do you make, man? Do you make blades? I know I've known you from the chat, but I don't think I know what your passion in the knife game is. I think it was Scabs. I was watching one of his videos and you came up. Do you do a lot of testing? That's what it was. And I don't know what kind of testing Scabs was referring to. But anyway, I found it fascinating. Palmer Conley, my 18-year-old buddy, how are you? We got Crazy Roaches in the house. Howdy, Crazy Roach. And we have got maybe that's everybody. Maybe that's everybody for now. Hopefully we'll have kind of a low-key Lord Needham. I know he was in here earlier. That is my hero. Lord Needham, I don't know if you saw the video I put up today. It has no better action than your Roosevelt, but my buddy A to Z EDC bought from brother Paul Mills his Rosie that's got contoured putter milled handles, I've already given it back. I mean, he literally went to have dinner with his girlfriend, dropped that knife off the Chris Reeves large Sabenza bog oak and his Demco 8020 so I could film a US, are these the best small makers? But it just further solidified that A, I've got to get income rolling in. B, I've got to own an Oz Roosevelt. I don't care what configuration. I don't care if it's contoured or if it's more plain. It's the action and it's the ergos that make the knife for me. And I have crossed that dark bridge into understanding what people love about Chris Reeves Sabenzas. Absolutely amazing knife. What is up, Nick? Hollow grind's great. I never thought I could get pleasure from slow rolling a knife and really hearing it lock up, because most knives, they they lock up. But the Chris Reeves Sabenza, and I wouldn't even put the other stud on it, but you just roll it out and it kind of thunders in your hand just enough, not where it's heavy, but just enough to where it is just like a tank. And I just went in here and tried to push that liner or that frame lock out of the way, and you're not going to get far on a Spyderco Mannix doing that. But anywho, so we got Nick in the house. We have got Gons in the house. What is up, brother Gons? Good to see you. Marco, brother Marco, my channel member man, is in the house as well. Kathleen Smith, welcome, young lady. Pleasure to see you always. Angelo is in the house, one of my channel members, and Ground Fog was in here earlier. Hopefully he'll come back. And I'm just glad you guys are here. We're gonna hang out. Marisol, what is up? What is up? Stephen Clayton, did I miss you, buddy? Who else did I miss? I'm gonna try to stay in the chat. I'm gonna try to share less, but I did, now that I've set up this Discord that I'll never be able to use. David Jewell, what is up, my man? I have been trying to learn that there's this thing called custom layouts in StreamYard. I don't know if you've seen Metal Complex's videos earlier where he'll like have a tabletop view and he'll have a little circle of his face, or he can, I can do edits between tabletop, and I'm trying to find a way, even though I think I'll have to upgrade StreamYard to get the full 4K or 180p, because this is kind of shitty video to me. I don't know if I feel comfortable doing disassemblies or shit like that, but I'm trying to up my game, my content game, right? I appreciate everybody that watches it. When I started watching knife videos, I was more into just seeing the knife, right? I like to hear people, hey, Humphrey, I like to hear people's opinions, and I took it with a grain of salt, even at an early stage, because I learned one of my good friends left the EDC. He hated the 8015. He thought it was the worst design ever. That's one of my favorite knives. I knew right away, if Lefty hates it, chances are I'm going to love it. So by watching different people's takes on just seeing a knife, so I feel like if I can just show a knife, since I'm not a hard use guy, I mean, the hardest use I've been doing when I'm not on a campsite, which is even worse, I am working my stick. And I'm telling you, this is some kind of hard maple that happened to be in my yard. And this is like, I don't sit down for more than 30 minutes at a time. This is where I'm trying to get it flat enough to put a hole through it. And that's just the 90-degree hook. It is a pain in the ass. Yes, Scabs, Space Ghost. That's exactly where I heard your name. Hey, Max Cheeto, Mr. Burrito, my brother from another mother. Jump in your Josh Branson. I don't know if you got my oh, wait a minute, what did I just see? I just missed something. Yeah, and for me, Stephen, I'm not the guy, and I always tell people up front, I'm an urban city guy who used to be addicted to guitars and guitar effects. Before that, because I've got ADHD, I was in the Silverfish longboard community. I've been skateboarding for 48 years. So I was working that angle, skateboarding, posting there. And the knife thing happened during COVID, and it was Grateful Panic, Shane, I hate to say it, Monster Racing, Brother Worm, and some other people that I met early on where I realized that it was more than just a hobby. So I stuck around really for the people. And then I just met more and more and more quality people. And I met some turds along the way too. But that's just life, right? That's in any community. But for me, it has been so cathartic, but I've always gone hard for like a year, maybe 2, and then my interest has to shift because I'm an atypical brained adult ADHD guy. And I know it sounds like a it's because I don't make an excuse for it. I think it's kind of a gift. I think I've kind of been gifted with it, but I do have not challenges, but I do think differently. I process information where some people process linearly. I'm kind of squirrel. Um, I might remember something brilliant from 2 days ago that I forgot to say, and I might just say it. But I don't have Tourette's. It's just full on ADHD. Edgy, you got a link if you'd love to jump in and join. I'll even make this go away. I'd even do this for you. I'd go, and then I'd even say, and now we have coming to the stage, Edgy American, where I could even give you a, tell me if y'all are not hearing this. Are y'all hearing my effects now? I had to do a factory reset on my little deal, and I think that did it. At least it did when I did a test podcast, which I'll sometimes do in the middle of the day. I'll do a test live stream to try to get my fucking sound better because I don't know anything about sound. I don't know anything about video. I've got a cheap webcam and I've got an iPhone that points down. And I have awesome double detent. Thank you, brother. And thank you for being here, channel member. I just have this phone dialed in because I don't have the StreamYard where you can connect multiple cameras. But thank you, Kathleen. But Brother Pocket Metal taught me that I can just join like I would, let's say I was Dark Gravity joining, like hopefully he will one night soon. He was here Friday, but he just joins from his phone, I think. So I just joined the stream from my phone and set it up as, I think I call it NAFs. Let's add it back in there. How do we do that? Whoops, let's go like that. But so this is just like a guest. I don't have to have the other camera, but I think with the other camera, you can do angles and stuff like that, right? But I don't need to be super fancy. And I kind of like, because like I was saying, since I'm more, my whole vibe is how a knife makes me feel, which is kind of ironic because I did grow up dove hunting. And I've got to get when my dad gets either put in a memory assisted facility and I get the keys back from my brother for his safe. I've got a little fixed blade case. I think it's a case. It's got a leather wrapped handle. It might be a buck, but I had it since I was 7 years old, and I carried it dove hunting. I sharpened it on rocks, stones, and I've got a Swiss Army knife. I've got some older pocket knives, and I've got this. My dad's got the switchblade, or not the switchblade, the slip joint that cut my finger when I was 8 and got me an ass whipping and a bloody fingers, which is why I never went down the slip joint path that often. But I find it fascinating that my reviews don't get a lot of views. I notice that people get much more views than mine do because all I'm doing and all I ever aimed to do was meet people because I do like meeting people and just show off knives. I've got so many knives. I've got less now because I've given a bunch away, but I collected knives. Shane used to make fun of me. Dark Gravity and Shane gave me the lesson to get me out of the buying so many budget knives and saving up to buy a little nicer knives. And from there, I've kind of, and that's the trick, guys, to justifying if you want a more expensive knife. It's just a matter of foregoing some of the imports that I got the dopamine rush early on having an inbound package. That was my whole thing. I loved having something inbound, and it didn't matter what it was. And So when I went into my kind of buying freeze, I've noticed that that's tapered off. And what it's made me do is rediscover I've got 3.5 Apache cases and a door hanger full of fixed blades and a case full of slip joints that I don't use all the time. So I'm rediscovering my collection, and all I'm really doing is just dictating what it means to me. And my needs are so much different than someone like Erica, and I won't bring up that name again, or someone like Shane, or someone like said Stevie, who's hiking all the time. I'm cutting open Amazon packages. I am a therapeutic slicer where I'll sit in front of an empty Amazon box and just slice paper because I dig it, right? Um, and I'm surely going to cut myself soon. Um, and that'll be shitty. But I'll do it on camera because I do have, and I don't know if y'all saw that, but I did, and I've got a little drop, but it's dried up. I did cut myself on a review and tried to hide it because I didn't want it to get flagged. But one little drop fell off and stained my be up mat over there. I've got a color be up mat that I do my reviews on the backside of this table. I've got such a rinky dink setup, and I've got the my black and white be up, and I even brought in. I do this for Lord Needham because he shares knives with me, and I do it for A to Z because he shares knives with me to review, and I don't talk about it enough because I really don't care. For a while, I had the professional account, and I was getting blocked anyway, so I went back to personal. And if you guys are on IG and you want to hook up, I answer DMs over there, not super like once every 2 days, but all my links are there for like my channel. We've got a new channel email. I think I told you guys that, and it's in the description, but it's long. It kind of sucks. But if you know the channel name, that's all you got to do. And it's not cap sensitive. I just do it this way because it's easier. I'm going to put it up there. And the Knives Live still works. But what I wanted to do is do something for the channel because hopefully I can convince Shane that we can get back together and try to get some people in and have another Knives Live to raise money for somebody. Maybe we do it for the Brown family. Maybe we do Knives Live. It doesn't always have to be around, although I think Knife Rights is a fantastic recipient of our efforts since they are out there looking out for our asses. But I would love to do that again. Think about it, Shane. You know the parts that you're good at. I know the parts I'm good at, and Lefty will always help, even though he'll eventually initially tell us he's too busy, but we can talk him into it. Knife Flicks. Let's see if I got this right. At gmail.com. So again, both Gmails work, but the goal is to have people when they win and they do stuff like that, that they have a channel address they can send it to, right? And then when we hopefully do Knives Live 2024 or Knives Live 2025, we can have that email box kind of cleared out, even though it's Knives Live 2021. But that's by design, because I knew I'd not be able to get Knives Live for each year going forward, and it would be a huge pain in the ass. And B, I wanted to have our inaugural year. 2021 was the first year we did it, and it was a huge success. 2022 was a larger success. Thanks to all y'all. That's where, if you're new to the community, we split up between 12 to 24 creators, and we have a 24-hour live stream. And in lieu of all super chats, in lieu of all donations, we have companies donate, and Lefty's been able to put together 4 to 5 to 6 over $3,000 prize packages. No, 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 no. Shane, you burn whatever bridges you want, and you are still the man who Doug Ritter would hug your neck. And this is bigger. This is not about us. I can't do it without you. I won't do it without you. It's that simple. You're my man in that. And you don't have to do much. I just need your support, and I just need your your brain. But what we did is we'd get creators, and I'll even organize we'll talk about it, buddy. But we would get a creator to take an hour slot. And all we asked was that each creator has a giveaway, right? So, like I do on Friday nights, and a lot of people do, we give away a knife. So there's a knife given away at each hour, and it runs 24 hours, right? So it goes from 6 o'clock, I think, on Friday night to 6 p.m. on Saturday night. Usually ends with Jared interviewing Doug, and Doug comes in through several slots. But it's awesome. And what we do is we focus on, if you donate $5 to Knife Rights, no money comes to us. It goes all to Knife Rights. And then you just email us the receipt. So each $5 donation gets you an entry into these 5 multi-thousand-dollar each packages, because companies come out of the woodwork. Lefty's able to get them to donate awesome shit. And other people too, not just Lefty. But Lefty's been a huge help. And then it it really, if you go and you spend $25, which is a membership, you get an annual membership as opposed to a donation, which gets you a monthly newsletter and a sticker. I forget what else, but it's basically supporting Knife Rights. Because if you guys don't know, Knife Rights consists of about 5, 6 people. So it's literally Doug Ritter and his wife. His wife helps with a lot of the bookings. They've got two young attorneys, I think, that work with them. But where they're at a huge disadvantage is they don't get notice that a bill's coming up to either be voted through or voted down ever more than 72 hours, because you all know how the government works. They sneak stuff in. So one of their biggest expenses, and Doug, Shane, and I have sat down and had this conversation, is they have to book plane tickets at the very last minute. They will fly to states that they have no tree needing to be shaken in, because they know people there should be able to carry an automatic knife. And they'll fly for a lot of money and go over there because they've got the knowledge, they've got the attorneys, and they will talk sense, and have had a lot of success. They have failures too, but they don't stop trying. So I think it's a worthy cause. And for $25, what I was going to say, $5 gets you one entry, 25 gets you 6. So you get an extra entry by getting the membership. And Satu Dave won 1 year. Scott said, "What's up, buddy? You hadn't missed a thing. I can send you a link, dude. This is a random Metal Mondays Lite. Hopefully Pocket Metal can pop in. He's dealing with a little computer headache. Kyle Coonley, talk to me. Which spreadsheet? Remind me. Call me. You've got my number, right? Call me and I'll send it to you, because I've got everything on Google Drive, but I've got a lot of different spreadsheets. 2002, 22, 23, no, 21, 22, and countless other weird shit. But yes, I'm happy to, bud. Just remind me. I have, like I say, adult ADHD, about 56 dead shows under my belt, short-term memory. I get you, dude. It's an early week. I know you're working your ass off. Kyle is welcome anytime. Kyle, I can send you a link right now. We can talk clinging works. We can talk sharpening. I can whip out my little, check out the edge on this. I can show you 3 chickadees. And one of these kids is not like the others. And it's all in the edge. This particular chickadee, which is in Magna Cut, and I'm sorry, but I don't pay for the $50 StreamYard. I've got the little middle grade, so I get like 780. But the edge on this is sick. I love these little knives. But I'm carrying something different today. And then we'll do some pocket checks, because in my back pocket, I'm carrying the little TKL Piranha, which is very similar to a chickadee, but it's got a little longer handle. The blade's the same length, but you get a little more purchase. And for some reason, I'm always afraid I'm going to stab it in my ass. All right. And I'm carrying my Atom. I don't know what you guys think about TRM. I know they're not hard use knives, but I'm a huge fan. And I forget that old gentleman that's on their homepage now who's making these Atoms hollow ground. Rob's Nerdy Knives has one. And if you look at the thickness of this blade and you look at the hollow he's put on it, it's amazing. But anyway, and I'm carrying I'm not even going to whip it out. Yeah, well, it's the QSP traditional pocket knives. It's supposed to be purple cow carbon fiber, which it is, but it just doesn't have a lot of color because carbon fiber is organic, right? It's going to be all over the board. For example, my Jack Wolf, as Shane would say, my overpriced Chinese slip joint, which is not inaccurate. That's actually not inaccurate, but it has one side that's vibrant pink and one side that's real dull pink because this stuff is very organic because it is fat carbon. But that's the 3 knives I'm carrying. So what's everybody carrying? Shane, I wouldn't do that to you, buddy. I know you're making big boy knives. I told you what my buddy, who was the best man in my wedding, he started watching my channels. This is my guitar playing buddy. This was my lead guitarist. I've since exceeded him in skill level. But he kept seeing my little knife videos I was posting. And he went and bought me this and told me I needed a big boy knife and called me some very condescending names. But I want to say this blade, it's a 10-incher. And I've chopped bamboo with it. I hate the stag handle. Not one of my things. I mean, I'm not a fan of that. It feels good in the hand, but I'm just not my deal. I've got it here on my table leg hanging. But it was pretty funny. He called me from work one day and asked for my address. And then the next day they knocked on my door. He overnighted it, FedExed it, and there's this big fucking box on my desk or on the porch. And I opened it up and oh, double detent. I'm I'm happy for you. Paul Mills, I have been waiting. And I've talked to them. It's not their fault. They're waiting for more washers and they're doing the right thing. They're filling orders based on the way that they came in for the 80/10 scales. So I'm sure you waited for yours a while too, unless you bought them a long time ago. But they filled 26 orders. I ordered mine about 9 months ago and they haven't come in because the washers aren't there. They come from China. So I'm going to get, I can't wait for mine to come in. I want to try to, I've never taken apart my 80/10. And I'm an idiot because I'm not getting 80/10 scales. I'm getting 80/15 scales. So you can probably get 80/10 scales right now without any issue. I've got a moth flying around that I'm about to cut. Y'all are going to watch this moth fly by me and it's going to come in 2 pieces. Do y'all ever, more than Crazy Roach, it's been crazy. And I've talked to not just the people at Original Goat, but I've talked to Cortex XL and a Jack Wolf Midnight. That's a win. Benchmade 945, Chris 229, and a PM2 channel member. Good to see you, buddy. The Benchmade 940 and 945 are 2 of my favorite knives. I've always loved them. The 940 was my first grail. Scotching things is always breaking out the heat. That's funny. All right, the moth landed on my finger. If it was a fly, I'd go get my bug zapper. But for some reason, it's kind of like when I quit dove hunting. And I do attribute this to the loving power of psychedelics, but I could not bring myself to shoot them off with my bug assault. Okay, double D10. You must have put your order in December. If yours should be on the road because mine haven't shipped yet, but I'm told they'll be coming, and I'm looking forward to the 8015 ones because that knife I don't have it with me over here. It's in that other case, but that's one that has a Sawtooth regrind on it. My 8015 Edgy's got the cold steel the 4 Max Scout working in the yard today. You can hack with that thing. I mean, that thing is and what's I've noticed when I've gone out and tried to do hacking videos, I don't have the muscle memory to hack in the same spot because I've watched people, and I'm using the wrong word, but really do some hacking and they hit the same point, so they're making some serious progress. I like hack over a 4-inch area, right? So I'm kind of like shredding slowly whatever I'm hacking into. Personal first world problems. Nothing that really matters. But it's life. It's what we do, right? So I know more of y'all are carrying stuff. So the little bro was Kathleen Smith and the mini Labrador. I love the mini Labrador. I think that is one of the cutest, and cute's really the wrong word, but it's small enough to be a functional, great, even a small primary carry. 5-door had the fatty S&G and the copper slip joint. Dude, that fatty S&G and the copper slip joint are the bomb. Let's see what I missed here. All right, Steven was rocking the Remnant Alliance Scourge Mini Tonto, the Scourge Mini Tonto. TKL combatant. I'll salute you. And I'll show you my thumb after I read the rest of your carry because I sharpened this at 19.7, I think. And I was wiping it with my big, thick rag, and it just did my finger wrong. Warthog TS87, FLN times 3, Guardian, Night Stalker, CG, Piranha. I love the Piranha, FMF, Accomplice, awesome knife, MR1, Midgard Messer, Mini Axe. I love it, dude. We're birds of a feather. I love those carries, man. But anyway, you can't really see it now because I took the fingernail clippers and clipped off a lot of the dead skin, and it had that plastic new skin all over it, but I filleted my fingertip right there, and it was at an angle, so the skin would flop off, right? And it was drying, and every time I'd bump it, it would catch that skin, which really sucked. Um, so Snow Trial carried his XM24 and an SNG fatty today. Guys, and I know the economy sucks. This is someone who has zero income right now, who is not working, but there is still a Hinderer XM18 Skinner, which is one of the rarer blades. And I know a lot of y'all hate Hinderers, but it's this blade shape in a full size Hinderer. There's still one, or there was this afternoon on DLT. And they've been there for a week, guys. And the thing about Hinderers, yeah, they're expensive, but they're a consistent 425. You add scales, yeah, you're adding money. If you add the little doodad, lock covers and stuff like that, you're adding a lot of money. But I'm amazed to see them in stock, staying in stock. I'm not surprised because more of the knives that we kind of look for, I've noticed that Protect Malibus are staying in stock for a couple of days before they get grabbed up. I actually have my Malibu here, which is still one of my favorite button locks ever, or plunge lock, whatever you want to call it, even though it's a thicker grind. I think I like my Mordax better just because of the ergos of that choil. This is a great little knife too. Let's look at some more. All right, so Crazy Roach was carrying the Para 3 and the Devo Nip. Devo Nip is one of my favorite all-time knives. I've got 3 nips. I bought the black one from TPK. I bought the titanium one from White Mountain Knives, and then I bought the purple nurple from Blade HQ, and I got like a 20% discount on that one. Are you back? Oh, you're doing chainsaw storm removal, Shane? You're not back in your shop because you've got everything being heat treated, right? So you've been out helping neighbors cut down shit? Dude, the cemetery right across the street from my house, I'm in the Five Points area of Huntsville. We definitely had an F2 or something come through here because all the trees that are broken are twisted off, right? So they're not like straight lined over. But there's this big, probably 250-year-old tree that sits in the north corner of the cemetery, like right in the corner. And it got blown over. And the root ball was so big. The root ball is, this is no big feat. But if I stood beside it, because it's on its side, I wouldn't be half as tall as it is in circumference, right? Or diameter, whatever that is. I failed geometry miserably. But it's like a 300-year-old tree got blown over. There's this stone wall that was there, I think pre-Civil War, that got knocked over. I mean, the shit hit the fan here. Evening, Todd Carr. Good to see you again, buddy. Todd finally threw in a Santa Fe Stoneworks lock back. Hey, there's nothing wrong with not having a knife in your pocket, dude. Sometimes it just doesn't it doesn't your day doesn't set up for it. I remember I went to Vegas earlier last year for a convention for one of my clients to help them, and I wasn't able to carry a knife because I flew. But luckily, PK Vegas was still open, and they were literally the block. Like I walked out of the hotel, walked across the street to the left, 2 doors down, which is a strip mall, was PK Vegas. So I was able to buy a little Spyderco, mail it back after I was done with it. Scotch is here. He might have dipped out. Yeah, he is. There he is. Pretty fly for a knife guy, the Penguin Mini and the Vosteed Hedgehog. I hear the Hedgehog is a fantastic knife. I hear that. Do they call that the Trex lock or they just call it a top lock? I'm going to have to kill this moth, much as I don't want to. Found a performance fatty SMG that I asked about. Sold that SMF and got it. I assume till it gets here. Good for you, man. The SMF's just big. And the only reason I say that, and I shouldn't say it, because if Lefty's in here or anybody, it's Shane hits me on it too. But I tried an SMF size knife. And that's what made me catch the Strider bug. That's what led to 2 Protect Striders and a Strider crosshatch hybrid. But it would have never started had I not experienced the SMF clone, copy, whatever you want to call it. I found it on Amazon. But anyway, I love the shape of that knife. It's absolutely fantastic. And the SMF for me is perfect. The Mordax is a banger. And this has a great customer service story attached to it. Shane bought his the same day I bought mine, and he sold it, I think, to Jared before we even left because Jared wanted it. But Shane, those had a little bit of detent lash. Those were some of the first ones that they produced with this scale pattern. And mine had a little detent lash. Really didn't bother me because I'm not OCD. Well, about a year after having it, I thought, well, I at least ought to reach out to them and see what they say. So I called. I went to their customer service page and called and said, this is probably normal, not a big deal. It just seems to have a little bit of detent lash, and my Malibu doesn't. She goes, "When did you get it?" I said, "I bought it from Dave at the Nashville knife show, and I want to say it was 23. Might have been 22." She goes, "Do me a favor, and I hate to ask because I'm going to have to ask you to put a $15 check in the box, and that's for them to pay to ship it back." They sent me a label, so I didn't have to pay to ship it to them. She goes, "Please send that knife back. We had an issue with 2 batches. I think that might be one of the affected knives. Please send it back." So I did. Expected them to fix it and send it back. It was no more than 8 total days, not business days, because I think I mailed it on a Saturday, maybe a Friday. It was back to me by the following Saturday, and it was all wrapped up, came in my a Protect box. I opened it and noticed it didn't have the snail trail, so they basically replaced it. Um, I say that, Shane, so if Jared, for some reason, still has that knife and it has any kind of detent lash, he's probably already dealt with it. But they jumped up and down. They could have said, no, that's well within normal. Cause I'm the kind of guy that doesn't really care. Although I did enough to call. I love the smock. And I love the fact that Vosteed and you, I've met you at Blade Show. He's a fantastic guy, young, energetic. I think he's kind of cutting edge. Yes, he takes from a lot of things that people like, but that means he's plugged into the community to know what people likes. And he still comes up with original stuff. To a point, everything's going to have some kind of crossover, right? Be Shady had the Chavez scapegoat with skiffs installed today. That's an easy install, isn't it? I haven't done the scapegoat, but I did my street, and I was surprised how well that knife went together and came apart. The Tempest knives pinion, the Kavist Vanish, which I love. And if you like that knife, Be Shady, look into the Kaiser Banish with the B. It's the same size exactly. It's a button lock micarta 14C, and it's $45 retail. And I've got it. It's a great knife. I just don't have it here. I have to get up and go get it. I'll go get it in a second, but it's a great little knife. If you like that shape, I've got the PE, I've got the little Vanish, and I got that knife. I bought it because I do dig that design. $45 too. The Chavez Skull Pry with the custom slip. Nice. The Chavez twist pin. I'm seeing a pattern develop. The Ray Light Land Apple, the DLT cheese nut with Gorknot 78 Swiss cheese bead. Dude, it sounds banging. Sounds banging. I got you, dude. I got you. No need to apologize, Experience Precision. Glad you're here, channel member. You guys can come and go as you always please. Pop in, don't pop in. I'm starting to do some time here. With Monday nights and then every other Saturday was me and Lefty, but Lefty's life is getting a little more complicated. He's got another little one coming, and I just you got to put time in with the family, right? Hinder a collector, yo yo. What is up, my brother from another mother? Johnny Quesadilla, what is going on? The Spartan Harsey all day. I will see that. That is a knife that I never had any interest in till I picked one up because I love the Plague Doctor theme. And I picked one up, liked it so much that I even picked up the little one. Both of them Plague Doctors. It's just such a good tool. As a matter of fact, this knife has some work on my carving stick. It's done a little carving. Love it, love it. Legion of Nice represents. Let's see what else we got in here. Oh no, Scotch and things. How'd you do that? Did you have something come through it from the back bed? Did something slide up the bed and come like a missile into the truck? That sucks. No, I'll tell you what you need. And this stuff they sell at River's Edge Cutlery. They sell it at and there's other stuff like it, but this is just a wax. I like it. I watched the demo. I met him in Nashville the year before, the 2 years ago. But at Blade Show, he had a couple of demos where he had some tool steel knives where he coated with this stuff. It's just a clear food safe wax, and then you wipe it off, and it supposedly gives kind of an invisible coating. And I use it on my knives, and it seems so far to work. He's also got a product, and you can get it at his store, Depreche Fords, or you can get it at DLT or GP Knives. They've also got this Wicked Clean, which is kind of like what Flitz polish is? Flitz metal polish. This is kind of like a lower grit Flitz metal polish. So I've used this a lot, but it's not as soft as the wax, so your finger doesn't go in it as much. But this also has the same protective properties, but I'm a addict, so I will clean my blades with my Wicked Clean, and then I will put my Wicked Wax on them, and I'll be rolling. Top lock on the Vosteed Hedgehog. Do they call that the Trex lock or am I? Yeah, I know PK Vegas closed. Are you in Vegas, Demon? It was a couple of years ago when I was there. It was for the National RV Show, and I forget it was it. I don't even forget the month. A lot of those trips run together. Pretty Fly, is that called the Trex locks? Oh, happy early birthday, Bramp. We might be here at midnight to wish you a happy birthday if you're still awake. You said you were going to be 30 even or 32? Yeah, the SMF is too big. The SNG, even for your hands, Edgy, I think would be so perfect just because you've got that big, generous choil. And it's about the same length as your PM2. I'm guessing that. I don't let's do this. A little shorter than the PM2, but if you look at the handle configuration where your choils are, you've almost got more grip, a lot more grip on the SMF or SNG, and this flared handle to me I think is great. I think it just gives great grip to the knife. Um, I'm a huge fan, thanks to Scotch and Things. But it all started with a $76 Grow ES225. Then it progressed to the PT207 by ProTech, which is their small MagnaCut version. Scotch and Things has a Strider PT207. This is the size, probably be too small for you, Shane, but it's about bug out sized. And then I traded a knife with my brother from another mother. Whoops, that's not it. The ProTech SNG, which is the same size, and really the clip and everything is a Strider SNG. It's just an automatic instead of a manual. But it's a knife that it goes to show that if you keep an open mind, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because you'll spend money on stuff you wouldn't have. But I have really moved on. Yeah, SMF. Well, Mersalt, isn't it a little bigger than the Shaman? Maybe not. I gave that knife away, so I don't have it. The PT and MagnaCut is great. Are you talking about the little did you get the Strider or the ProTech Strider? Yeah, 5 door. They're finicky. They're different. When I first got mine, I wasn't that impressed with it because the action was washers. Wasn't that great. I could flip it maybe 1 out of 5 times, which I've now learned it's a slow roller. But it also had a little lock stick because it's titanium. Within a week of using it, it is now buttery smooth and has absolutely no stick. Still on washers, but there's no. When I disengage that lock, you used to hear it go. I just hit my mic. I hit it again. See if you can hear it disengage. It's just smoothed out on its own. I didn't do anything to it. And then my favorite USA knife that I need to carry more to keep my end of the bargain with dark gravity is my Michael Ziba S5 Odin. I wish I had a better camera set up. And then it's got this badass ruin in the backspacer. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. Where do I turn it? Where's my light? I don't know what that says, but it's a Jason Knight blade. Dark Gravity picked this up at the Nashville Custom Knife Show in 2022 and was not carrying it and wanted to get rid of it to somebody who'd carry it. And I told him I would. And I've carried it a couple of times. I just don't want to mess it up. The clip says Till Valhalla. It's got such intricate scroll work on it, skulls, and I guess whatever the Norse god Odin did. Should probably Google it. I should probably get education myself. 31 years old. Is that how old he's going to be? Arkansas EDC, welcome, brother. Good to see you, man. Looks like you went rabbit hunting over the weekend. What was the caliber of that pew pew? Was it a 22? I couldn't tell. It looked like it might have been a. Let me find. Jared sent it back immediately. Okay, so he noticed it edgy. That was a it was a faux pas. You know, they rushed him out for blade show. Something was wrong. They stood behind it. Hopefully, they did to Jerry. I mean, Jared. I know he's had some bad customer experiences, customer service experience stories, which is probably the dumbest thing a company can do. Yeah, edgy. They're not that exciting. I did compare mine to Jeff's old drop one because he swears the blades are the same thickness, but the newer Mordax is a tiny bit thinner. Two banishes, they're great. Be shady. I love it. Yeah, the Chavez. I think I've got mine out here. I did. I put skiffs in it. I was surprised because it had the double pivots. I didn't know what to expect. I went from the lock side and it just came apart like a dream. Went back together. There was no fidgeting with it. I could tighten the pivots all the way down. Perfectly centered. If I can get my camera right. Great little knife. Deep hollow grind. I don't carry it that much because it's a little thicker than my normal jam unless I'm just balling on a weekend or something. Putter recommendations. Palmer. Is it a white dot? Mine's old. My putter is probably 8, 9 years old, but I want to say it's a white dot. Like a $300 putter, maybe $200. A good putter. I can't putt. I suck at putting. I always wear. I've got a. I need to go grab it, but I've got a 1988 blue build. Let me grab it. I think it's a blue covered, red, steal your face, Grateful Dead tattered hat that I wear to golf in. And I golf in corporate events, so I'll be wearing like a polo and golf shorts and golf shoes and the whole 9 yards, but I always wear that Grateful Dead hat. People always ask, "What is that skull?" Oh, well, if you have to ask, it doesn't matter. Jeffrey Dawson, Javon, a big fan of the pop-in. Am I missing something? I know where your putter went. You left it on 18 or 17 or 19. I used to spend, well, when I played golf, I was very good, my long and my medium game. I was great in scrambles. Everybody wanted me on a scramble, but I drank excessively. So I would always leave a wedge behind, rarely a putter because I'd walk off with it, but you never know. Ooh, the military in S110, 4-inch blade. That is nice, David. I've got my PM2 is that's the wrong one. It's over there. It's S110V, and I've not had to sharpen it yet. Yeah, experienced precision, if I'm not mistaken, and Shane or somebody with more knowledge will have to keep me honest, but I think they've done away with those screws now. And I've never put, because I found my Chavez box when I was looking for Chicago 23. I wanted to send him my detent ball and my spring, the one I took out of my smock because he needed one. So I tried to go through my boxes. I need to get some of those big storage plastic cases to put my boxes in. But the Chavez, when I found that box, I found the other clip, which is a pretty cool looking clip, but I just couldn't bring myself to try it on. Arkansas EDC carried the 808 Loco today alongside with the Meerkat and MSI. Is that the mini Loco, the 808? Is it this one right here? Because I've never seen the full size, but this is my number one Benchmade. It's a big, beefy pistol grip. This is a first production. I found it at my local knife store, St. Nick's Knives. And that's what I asked everybody on Friday Night Live, and I'll ask you guys. But what I'm thinking about doing is, I don't know if Shane's been shopping with us over here. I know he's been to St. Nick's, but we've got a St. Nick's Knives about 30 minutes from me. And then I've got a Knives and More, which is a cool guy who buys a lot of estate stuff. And he's a Benchmade dealer. He's been a Benchmade dealer for as long as Benchmade's been in business. So the people he sells their knives for are primarily collectors, and they always come back in and they basically are buying the knives from him and selling them back to him. So you see a lot of Benchmades that are out of production down there. So I was thinking, Stasa does his thing where he films at that store. Now I wouldn't be going anywhere trying to promote them necessarily, just to have content. Would that be content that y'all would be interested in? I know St. Nick's has picked up, because they've changed the name of their store in Athens, their mothership. They're an online retailer. So if I saw something, because they carry Chris Reeves and other stuff now, if you saw something cool there, I don't have a link, but you could certainly get it. Semi on the way back, tossed a rock. Oh, dude, do you have the zero deductible on your windshields? It's still a pain in the ass. Baseball team won the first game of the season today. Congratulations. Yeah, Experienced Precision. This is coming from a swim dad. My daughter was a competitive swimmer from the time she was 9 till she was 15. She made an SEC cut in the 7th grade, which meant I was going to 3 practices a day and I was going to meets every weekend all over the Southeast. And we weren't the parents. We would be the parents at the end of the lane where she turned, cheering her on. But you see so many parents that are just giving their kids down the road. And swimming's a game of 16ths of a second, right? You get your turn right, you win. You get it just a little off, you don't. Everybody's swimming the same speed at that level. So I got just mortified watching the relationships. But I think those are the kids that become Olympians. I think they have to be ground like that. So it's a fine line. But baseball is stressful. My advice before that ramble was, don't take that shit seriously. Look out for your kid. Make sure they're not getting unfair treatment. Talk to whoever you need to talk to make sure that doesn't happen, which is probably not. You'll be 32, Hendra Collector. Awesome. Happy birthday. But yeah, don't take it real seriously. Those are the best freaking times. I look back to, I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, because as part of this swim club, this travel team that Brittany was on, that was an SEC team, even though they were kids and kids getting ready to go to college, but I would have to be a timer, or I'd have to take a position at the meet when we had our Huntsville Invitational, which was 60 teams from around the Southeast. It was a 3-day meet. It was hectic, and I always chose a lane timer, because I would do that for 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours, and it was manageable. I could keep my shit together, timing kids. They'd stack up. There was somebody else making sure the kids were in the right lane, because you have kids from kindergarten to 12th grade, and it goes on for fucking ever. But I'd have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'd get up at 4, I'd go get a Starbucks, I'd go down there, I'd say hey to some of the parents. The swimmers would start getting there because the meet started at 7. And looking back on it, like at the time, it was something I dreaded, but looking back on it, it was the best times. Dude, those are what it's all about. Showed the PT 208 next to it. So you mean the 20 next to the Kyle, next to the SNG? Because it's the 207. It's a little guy. But to be honest with you, for an EDC knife, I carry the 207 more. What the 207 doesn't have, this is nice, but it's fine for me, is a choil. So that choil's fine for me, but for Shane, that knife would probably be too small and he wouldn't want to grab it back here because that choil's essential. I'll show these side by side too. The SNG, you've got a much bigger choil. And if we wanted to get scientific, say the 207 is 7 inches from tip to tip. The SNG is 8.25. So it's 1.25 inches smaller overall. And they're both equally springy. I think, and I don't know this, I've been told this by my fellow knife people, I prefer the MagnaCut over the 154 CM. But for this knife, does it matter? No, because it's designed to jab into shit. Soft, fleshy stuff. I have been getting every one of my live streams flagged. Let me see if the one, because I always put them in for a manual review, and it usually takes about, let's see if this one's gotten cleared. Yep. They cleared it, but I screwed up because what they do, it's a scam. So if you don't set your live stream to live before it goes live, you just see the intro ads. I'm not talking about the mid-roll ads. I still have no idea how that happens. But when you put the monetization on before it goes live, I rarely get flagged. Every time that I turn the monetization on afterwards, it'll stay green for an hour. Nobody watches then, but then it'll get yellow, which means it's not eligible for monetization. I have to do a manual review, which takes up to 3 business days. Usually they do it in about 48 hours. But what I've noticed is, not that it matters, but that's where I get all my views. So I'm getting all my views, like I'm sure most creators, bigger creators, are getting the majority of their views when their videos first come out, and they're not getting that monetization. We're talking about 17 cents, maybe 75 cents. It's a good one, Edgy. If I ever get tired of this one, I'll make sure you're the first one it comes to. It's not too big, Snow Trog, and I think the biggest knife I've probably got, because I don't have an XM24, I've got several XM18s. This is probably one of the biggest, is the full-size Spartan Harsey. Now I've got a Tucson and my Formax that are bigger, but my Medfords are all small. So I've got the MIDI Marauder, the Slim MIDI, and the Infraction. And I've got an XM18, an Eclipse, and this Harsey. To me, it felt big in my hand. So it carries, I think the carry profile of Striders is just a great design feature. However, in my hand, which is I hate to do this because it reminds me of somebody, but it's 3.5 inches from right here, right? So I've got a medium large size hand. 3.5's not a lot, but that knife just made it felt too big in my hand as a cutting tool. Now, as a Slurpee saver, I would much rather have it. What's a 206? I need to learn. Scotch has got the best videos, by the way. If y'all aren't following, I'm sure you are. Yeah, Scotch could definitely do that. Shane, I'm only going to be running over to Blade Show for Saturday. I'm kind of bummed, but I'm bringing brother Tadner Dark Gravity with me. So he doesn't like to stay over because he and Lo have probably the best relationship of anybody I know. So he and I are going to drive over early Saturday morning, get there when it opens. So I'm going to be running like a chicken with my head cut off, but I'll make sure I find you. I just hate that I'm not going to be in the pit, and maybe we'll stay there kind of late because neither one of us drink. Chef Rocky, what is going on, buddy? Love to you, my friend. It's always great to see you. I've got the worst sleeping habits. And I think I've told you guys before. That's why I do midnight, 3 o'clock in the morning, short live streams because my schedule is flicking. Javon ruined it. Javon's name came about from Tri-State ruining mine. So if someone will give me a pronunciation like I had to do for you, Shane, when I had to spell out Kyle Coonley, COON-LEE, because you kept calling him Kyle Coonel. So don't throw rocks in your glass house. But Chef Rocky, I usually fall asleep and I've got to get better. I've got to make myself go to bed at 2, but I just lay there. I usually fall asleep about 4 or 5 and I wake up and it's the very end of Urine Doom show, but I've got to get in there more. Palmer, save yourself brain cells. Golf should be a quarterly outing. You should not make it your weekend hobby, in my opinion, because you'll suck a hinderer out of your pocket a month at the least. If you drink and do what I did, you'll suck a hinderer out of your pocket a day. And it's just a game that you'll never, ever master unless you're that guy that is very close to making a PGA cut. And that's what you want to do with your life. I think it is a sport because they have to walk it. And I would not want to walk 18 holes. But when you see people that are so freaking talented have those days where the fucking wheels come off and you watch them just melt down, I cannot imagine, even though if you lose a tournament, you make a lot of money, but if you're doing it for fun or betting with your buddies on the course, which is what I used to do, it is a fucking money suck. I mean, I would buy, what do you call when you get 4 sleeves? Is that like not a case, but I would get either my Callaways, whatever balls I would get like a $30 big box of balls where I'd lose half of them wherever I played because by the time I made the turn, my tours were way off because my BAC, blood alcohol content, was probably close to 3.8. But I had some amazing shots. I wish I had video of some of that. But yeah, it's a great game. I would look at it as a quarterly outing because you'll find out if you have the little wiffle balls and you like to just whack them around in the backyard, or if you like driving ranges. Go to the driving range once every 2 weeks and then play golf quarterly, or maybe once every month and play golf quarterly. You'll play better and you won't think about it as much. Oh, you live on a 27-hole course, you're fucked. But hopefully, you guys probably have a membership where you're just able to go out and ride and play, right? You're not having to drop fees except for your swag, the putter that you need to buy. And I don't have my clubs here. They're still at my mom's because I haven't been using them in so long. St. Nick's in person. They used to have one at the Park Place Mall here, real small, but they had really nice knives. That's where I bought my first real knife. when I got back into knives, which was my Spyderco Dragonfly. And then the second knife I bought from them, it was my purple S110V PM2. They closed that store down last year and they've got one over in Athens. That's where their mother store is. It is amazing. They've renamed it and I forget the name of it. Something outdoors. But they've got I bought my P365 TAC 10 kit there. Got a great deal on it. They carry all the pew pew stuff, all the clothing, have a huge knife area where they carry Medford. They carry, or I don't think they carry Medford anymore. I think they were getting out of that. They carry Chris Reeves. They carry Spyderco out the Yin Yang, Benchmade. Trying to think of some of the more cooler knives they carry. They carry good stuff, but in person, it's really good. I can go over there when we go, when we drive over to Athens, because it's about a 30-minute, 35-minute drive for me, but I can spend 2 hours there. A lot of it's the five of us or whoever meets over there sitting out in the parking lot talking, looking at knives. But I'm wanting to go over there and I don't know how to do it because I'm not good at shooting content live and I don't edit. So I don't know, I can chop stuff together with my iMovie, but maybe going over there and just showing off the stores, right? Like doing a walkthrough or something like that. I don't know if that'd be good content. 375 gap. When you say gap, is it an elevation gap where you can sit in your backyard and you can fucking just launch balls? 375, that's way too far. So you're out of the range of getting whacked unless you're 250 is about my reach out there straight. Now this is true. It started out as a weird deal. Be shady. I thought now I've never tried it on the Chavez. I've heard some things on the Chavez that I don't know if it was just the way people thought of the kickstop, but I did review and I've got a review on the what's it called? My buddy A to Z had one. It is called it's the one that looks kind of like a traditional. It's called the Oser or Esser F22. So I've tried this one right here and absolutely loved it. And I'm not a flipper only guy, but I love the way that I don't know if you can see that. I tried that one right there and I really did like it. Which one are you looking at? The 229. I'm trying to think if it was tri-state because mine, there was no play in the flipper at all. So trust whoever I saw a review on said there was a little bit of lash for a better word where that kickstop was. The Oser, zero. It was like a magic thing. And I'm sure they've worked that out. But I think the kickstop is cool because you've got if you like a flipper knife, which I used to, and I've kind of gotten back into them some now, but you don't have that pocket pecker and you've got a lot better purchase, especially on a Chavez. My favorite budget, when I would probably say if we're looking budget to be the least amount of money for a good titanium, I would probably say the CJRB Pyrite, only because I think its price point is so good. I would also, if you're looking at 150 range, I think the Kaiser Veritas is hard to beat. I think the Kubi Royal, the Kubi, anything Kubi does, if you like the G10 version in titanium frame lock, is fantastic. And $115 one that I really like is a QSP variant, but a lot of people don't like that. But there's so many good ones out there. There really are. And the CJRB Pyrite is a good one. They've got the minis in aluminum. They're very, very reasonable. I want to say it was like $76. I got mine from a terrible dealer. Let's look at it. Hold on. JRB. Make sure I'm giving you a similarly good price. It really depends on what kind of knife you're looking for, but they've just come out with this also in a Bowie, and they've got it in a cleaver. I think it's more of a sheep's foot. But this guy right here, it's about bug out size. Now it does have AARPM9, but I urge everyone to don't go by the thumbnail alone. Watch the video. There's definitely some shenanigans I think that happened there in a marketing honesty standpoint, but I don't think it means that. And Tucson, absolutely. And as a matter of fact, guys, I'm going to take you to White Mountain Knives. I don't have an affiliate link, but I do have a discount code. And there are some banger Tucsons back in stock. The little fixed blade that was my favorite, that's like $64. Hold on a sec. Now, what I don't know how to do on the website is filter out the ones that are in stock. In stock. Here we go. All right. So check this out. I thought they had a new to. Well, God damn it. We'll go low to high because that'll get me to the fixed blade. This one, stay away from it. Doesn't come with a sheath. But this little guy that I'm getting ready to show you, that's decent. I wasn't a huge fan of the comfort because I don't use can openers. I don't drink, but it does have a bit driver, a good little pull, and a blade for $40. Whatever. But the one I'm about to show you is an absolute banger. I've had two. I gave them both away. If I had money now, I would buy this one for me. Let me find it. I'm getting close because it's about $46, I think. No, it's not going. Here it is, right here. $54.99. This is a tiny. This is the Tucson mini fixed blade knife. It's an M390. It's a Wong design. Micarta handles, super sharp. You can take this off, this clip, because it's so big, and you can put an ulti clip or straps on there because it's got the regular sized eyelets, right? You even got the hardware for it. $54. It is 5.43 inches. So it's going to be right about 4.43 inches larger than my wait a minute. It's going to be about 0.43 inches larger than the Chickadee. But it's a great knife at $54. So that's the thing. And then you can put Javon 10 in and save 10%. But the other thing they've got, if you guys like slip joints, which I know you don't, but this is Metal Monday, so some of you might. They have got one that I gave away, but they've got it in a carbon fiber. This is a fantastic knife. It's also a Wong design. It's got a perfect half stop. If you look at this is titanium, and this carbon fiber is milled into it. So if you look at the back side, like if you look back here, you can see the titanium is all the way around and the carbon fiber is laid in it. M390 blade, complete half stop. It does have a clip, which I put it in a slip. You can't really take it off. But it's $84.99. M390. It is 7 inches open, 4 inches closed. Very cool knife. I kind of hated to give it away, but I was looking for something to give away. And then they've got this knife, which I own still. It's a Tucson I haven't gotten rid of. This is one that was designed by Colin Mason Pierre. And if for some reason you get this knife, do yourself a favor and do not, I repeat, do not take it apart. Grateful Panic had a fucking nightmare. He had to talk to Lefty for like an hour to get that thing back together. And he's very capable of. But anyway, we're not going to look at many more Tucsons. There was one more. that I thought was worthy of discussion in terms of coolness. I know what it was. It was a pry bar. Hold on. They've got a really cool pry bar that I can't quite understand. Let me find it. Hold on. All right, it's this guy right here. It looks like a robot, and it looks like it has some Damascus on it. 42 bucks. Can y'all see that? Maybe try to blow it up. It looks like it's got these pistons, but it doesn't bend or anything. It's just a, and it's got a clip because here's a side view. And what's weird is I can't see that clip on the other view. I don't see the clip on that side. I don't see the clip on that side. So I'm an idiot. But I think that's a cool looking pry bar. And I don't really do pry bars. But really what I wanted to show you guys were those that little fixed blade. That was my favorite small fixed blade before I started getting into fixed blades because it's such an entry point. The first one I got was the TS 150, which is smaller than the Chickadee, but it looks just like it. Um, Evening, Kevin Smith and Knives. How are you, brother? David Jewell, it's my size too, buddy. It's perfect. Hey, Night's Edge. How are you, my man? I was able to catch some of Night's Edge live Saturday morning. Then I embarrassedly fell asleep on the couch halfway through it, woke up and something else was on or nothing was on. I forget which. Drink water. I try not to have a potty mouth. Am I talking dirty? I always think they're younger people in here. I don't want to talk dirty. I have a dirty mind, but I try to keep it. Let's see what I got here. I'm so happy I've got my effects. Autumn Wind, what is up? Joe Isabella, channel member? Joe Isabella, the man, the myth, the legend. Check out that glow in the dark swag. I don't know if you can see the green glowing. I've had it over here under this black light. Some very fine jank. Nice edge, I will, buddy. But I'll tell you, those small batch, those are kind of pass alongs, right? Kathleen, I don't even like to think about it. And I've traded a lot lately, and I've sold a few, but I keep a spreadsheet for insurance with all the knives that I've procured that I bought. But I've never been able to hit AutoSum. Now, Scotch and Things, who's in here, has several videos. What's up, Dwayne Letterman? Where he talks about he figures it up at the end of each year, and he's like very candid about it. But yeah, it's I look at it this way, and this is the wrong way to look at it. I was an addict for most of my life, if you think about it. I was a functioning addict. I mean, I went to high school, went to college, got married, had a kid, but the whole time I got to the point to where I was eating a hinderer every day and a half, right? So after about 14 years hard in the opiates and I kicked on my own without any help, and it was fucking horrible. But when I kicked, I went into musical shit where I started because I had excess money. I never lost a job because of it, but I had excess money because I wasn't spending a hinder every 2 days, 500 bucks every 2 days. Um, it's an addiction. I look at it as knives are an addiction for me, not for everybody, but I have an addict's brain. So I can't, unfortunately, go into anything kind of half ass, if that makes sense. I kind of am all into it. And one of the things for me is I've always stuck with a hobby for a year and a half, and then I'm out of it. I mean, I'll accrue so much shit and I'm out of it. With knives, I met so many good people in chats that I really think that's what's kept my interest. I don't think it's the metal. I don't think it's the knives because, like I said, I haven't been able to buy anything in a couple of months, and I don't miss it. I mean, it's not about the knives. To me, it's about hanging out with you guys. It's about, Blade Show coming up. I hate that I'm not going to be able to spend the whole weekend there and do it like I normally do. You are a moderator. You can put me in timeout, dude. Here, I'll put myself in timeout. I suffered enough. I am reformed. I will keep quiet on the. No, I won't. JD, what's up, brother? Oh, dude, I've got to get some serious dental work done. I don't even want to think about it. It's going to be painful as fuck. And then cut yourself with your shaman. I cut myself with my TKL combat combatant night before last, and it hurt like shit. But shaman cuts are terrible. The worst one I ever got was from my benchmate Adamas. All right, I'm sitting here staring at this fucking name. I've got to figure it out, dude. I'm not even gonna greet you. I'm gonna call you S Man till I talk to Shane on the phone. And you can call me after this live, Shane. And if you really know how to pronounce S Man's name, let me know. I've only got one Strider, dude. I've got my my SMF or SNG, and then I've got some Protex. I went and looked at my pirate ship. I'll show you guys. This is what I mean. Anybody, if you, I hope you guys watch Scabs Choir Boy Cutlery. If you do, um, he put up a video about being a knife reviewer because people have been asking him different, you know, stuff, right? So let's do 1,200 bucks in shipping. That's crazy shit. I mean, I get a good deal on it because I used to spend, I don't know if the Spyderco Python, I've got a review coming out day after tomorrow on that, I think. Hold on. When is it coming out? When is it coming out? I love that knife. May 15th, whenever that is, day after tomorrow. Congratulations. That is a great one. The only thing that the one I messed with, David Jewell, you're exactly right. Because when I was doing it, and it wasn't just opiates. I mean, my whole thing, because I've been sober off alcohol for 8 years, and I would drink and for a job. I mean, I had a company credit card. I would drink. I would then everywhere I was, no matter what city, I could find what I didn't need in terms of devil's dandruff And so if I was still living like I was 9 years ago, I would definitely be deceased because of all the fentanyl and shit like that. So yes, I'm absolutely blessed. Paul, that's kind of what I'm up against, dude. And I've got to go get it. I mean, yeah, they are the worst. They are the worst. And I'll tell you guys, you can take care of your teeth absolutely perfectly. And as you get older, keeps Junior Miz, it should wear out. Just use it. I had a lot of lock stick on my Strider and it wore out to where I have none. What's up, Junior Miz? Paul, when I was a kid, I used to go to a pediodontist, and my mom told me the reason I've got such terrible phobia is I was like 2 and they had to hold me down and drilled my fucking tongue because I was fighting them. Palmer, I mean, to me, that's terrifying because I watch crazy podcasts, right? And there's this one pretty popular podcast. So one of the guys on there prefers to just use fentanyl. And I mean, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Rob, that is awesome. I'm gonna have to pull that up because I don't know what that is. It sounds very familiar, so I know I do know what it is. Ooh, the OG. Is this it, buddy? That is beautiful. And I love that's the new one. All right, cool, cool. It looks awesome, buddy. I loved your live tonight, by the way, dude. I always love listening to your lives. And you guys, I know you're subscribed to Rob's Nerdy Knives, but if you're not, please do. And I'll give y'all a hint. I put something on the community page. Let me find it. How do I do this? I go there and there. We're going to have a giveaway Friday night, and we are going to give love to a channel. And I don't even think this channel's aware of this, but I saw a video of her interviewing Nuttin' Fancy, an OG at Blade HQ, and I'd seen her in Rob's lives. And I want to drive her some subs. Her and her husband are big into knives, and I think he's got her doing some of the reviews. So they're kind of a team. And I'm going to show you. You can go ahead and subscribe because we're going to do a comment thing on a video. But if y'all are up to following someone who you're probably already following, and I'll drop her handle in there, but MPG EDC. She does some really cool stuff. And this short, hold on, let me share it again. She's always very engaging in other people's chats. I don't see her in here. I don't know if she knows about us, but I was going to show you this short.
OG knife reviewer right here. Original knife reviewer.
I don't know about that. I tried. So gear check on me, P365.
Nice.
That's what I carry.
Stretch XL.
Freaking love it.
I'm seeing how much wear I have on this. I've been making fun of everybody.
She's legit, guys. I mean, her and her husband are into knives. It's cool shit. I'm gonna throw her link in here. Let me go back to it. And then we'll do it again. You don't have to do anything now. You can go sub and watch a video. Maybe it'll keep her from having them dumped when we jump in there in mass Friday night. But I like her content, and I hadn't seen nothing fancy because it was before my time. And I was really stoked to see that video. It's about 4 minutes long. Really nice guy. Fantastic, fantastic pew. Absolutely. My P365 is in my appendix, but I'm a little guy. It's not in here now. Yeah, they are awesome, Rob. I can tell that from the way they communicate with you, and I will watch that video. And what I want to do, I don't know how to reach out to her. If you do, Rob, if she wants to make a new video on Friday, just a little video, I'll find one with low comments and we'll put Javon in it. But I'll be happy to, she's the channel of the week to try to drive a few people to. I think her and her husband seem very, very cool. And the fact that Nothing Fancy hooked up with them and talked, that just means that they walked up to him and said, hey, it's an excellent knife. You want me to show you a great knife? And there's actually one in stock. Now, for big people, it might not be great, but the Wee Mini Malice is one of the snappiest Fair and Forged collab button locks from Wee. It's got a flipper tab. It's got this Fuller 20 CV. I got a new coupon book. Check this out. Whoops. Cutter air. I need to get in my choil. I picked this up at Blade Show 2022, and I was there with Cole Tri-State, and he knew about the Vision R. I did not yet know about the Vision R because I really was interested in this lock. And they had these knives sitting on a table together. They were both $250 show price. I knew I wanted this, so I snagged it. And then left Cole standing there. You know, I went back and talked to somebody. He walked from the booth. Then we all went to the next place. This was before he was with EMP helping them. We got back to the cabin where we were staying and pulled out our goods, and he had that Snex. I tried to trade him because he had pre-ordered this at Blade HQ and it hadn't come in. And I was wanting the Snex, but didn't see it. This is a great knife. If you like Wii. I either had a button lock video come out or it's coming out. I don't remember which. Let's see if it's come out yet. I'll review like tonight. I'll try to do 4 or 5 videos and just stage them out. Members see them right away. Let's do this. Let's go here and let's see if that. Yeah, the button locks comes out on the 17th. And I want to make a formal apology because I don't know if I've been doing these knives because I'm going through my collection again, and I've been calling them 5 knives fast. And KC made a joke that I think that's something he's been doing, and I don't watch a lot of his content. Are they does KC, because I'm going to change the name of that. I don't want to, if somebody else is doing 5 knives fast, I don't want to do Five Knives Fast. But I don't watch a lot of other content anymore as much because I just don't have time. I'd love to. Brent, what's up, brother? It's almost your birthday, dude. We're like an hour and 3 minutes out. Howdy, Funland. What is going on? Yeah, you guys throw each other's links up there. That's why you have wrenches. Share each other's links, get people sent to other people's pages. And y'all all go sub to MPG, EDC. Where did I put her address? I know what I'll do. I'll go in here and I'll pin her. Maybe that will be a helpful. Let's see. You know, YouTube is so easy to navigate, and Instagram is a freaking nightmare to navigate. Absolutely terrible. Hush. Hush. All right, let me find our little channel for this week, and I'm going to pin it just in case you guys want to get a head start and you're not subscribed to her. Hey, Gracian. I just whacked my NAF table. Did y'all see it move? So I've got my Padre, one of my favorite knives. Kunwu's killing it. And I'm in love with his girlfriend or fiance. Got my Liang Ma field duty. Got my little SPK Lamia. The best value in the world, my Max Ace Neptune. I'm not an out the front guy, but this was $108. It's in San Mai ZDP Magic, which is a kitchen steel. But for jabbing it in somebody's head, it'll do fine. And just to show you, it is a slicey bitch for a OTF. And they make stiletto, or they make daggers and partially serrated daggers. But $108 for a quality, great clip, very nice, big, full-sized OTF. It's not failed on me once. And I've done this 1,000 times, probably. And I've got my favorite Spyderco, my Manix 2 with my lighter spring. And I've got my Malibu. And then I've got in pocket metal true form. What happened to my view? I've got slip joints, guys. I've got my little GEC keychain knife that I picked up off pocket metal with stag bone handle. All right, guys, let's see how Titanium Justin's doing. Because I was pumping him up Friday night, and I'd love to see him get some more Titanium Justin. He had a live today. I caught a little bit of it while I was driving. I forgot you don't put a space in there. All right, so here's Titanium's page, and I think Angelo dropped a link in there. So see, you can do these custom layouts for, and that's what Blade HQ is doing. And you can move these things around in different settings. And I'm thinking maybe I need to do reviews that way to keep it not so boring. But a great guy. He's at 401 subscribers now. So I'm also going to drop him in the chat. Yeah, that's not many, guys. That's not a lot of subs. And then I've got this knife. That's a locking knife that has probably one of the stiffest detents or stiffest pulls I've ever experienced on a knife. This was a gift from my brother from another mother, ENG EDC, because he thought I'd break my finger with it. And it's got a little lock. So it's got kind of a liner lock deal there that you push out of the way. And then it's got, I mean, an amazing stiff spring. I've tried to leave it cattywampus to try to loosen it up. I'll do that some more. And guys, on Blade Binge, and this is me shilling for me. So, and they are exhibiting at Blade Show for any of you going. I look forward to meeting Eric there and saying hi, even though I'm going to be on a very short time frame. But if you go here and you search PMP, you will see a familiar knife that you guys can reach out to me on because we've talked about it before. It was the biggest knife in my it is the biggest knife in my collection. So if any of y'all have titanium envy, you can sizzle here. You can message me if you want to negotiate a little bit. I've got to ship it and it's going to be expensive to ship because it weighs a fuck ton. Let's see how much it weighs. Because I copied the description. 11.3 ounces. 9.25 inches. But it is like brand new. And they list, if you go and find one new, they're $5.50. I picked it up for $5 because I got it at White Mountain Knives. Used my 10% discount. And if I didn't have to ship it or if I knew what shipping was, I'd go a little less for any of you guys. So just let me know if you're interested. Reach out, hook a brother up. I haven't done that yet, and I've thought about doing it because there's several knives that I like giving away, of course. And there's several knives that I wouldn't mind selling. I've thought about doing a video, like a knife sale video. But those always seem kind of weird. Thank you, Delaney. I think you'll enjoy his content. He's getting started and he does a really good job. He has a lot more swagger than I did. Ron, that is a great knife. I've still got, and I've kind of moved out into a different class of knives, but I still have 3 or 4 Spiros. I love them. Rob, let's DM each other phone numbers because I'm going to be coming in Saturday morning, like when it opens, and be there all day Saturday with Dark Gravity. I would love to see you, and we could even meet at TRM's booth because I need to go see. Marianne, and talk to them too. But we need to meet somewhere. I'd love to hug you and say, hey. Usually I go on Thursday. The last 2 years I've gone on Thursday and I've stayed till Monday, and that makes it perfect. But I'm going to be there Friday because I'm going with Dark Gravity. I want him to experience it, and he wants to get back. Y'all have a blast, Rob. I know you went to Texas, which is a big show. I think Hillary and Marianne, and unless they're all awesome. And I saw your hollow grind tonight. I'm actually carrying my Adam, and before you joined, I was talking about your hollow grind, and I can't imagine how freaking slicey it is. I'll tell you what they're going to be releasing at Blade Show. That's a very good knife that I was blessed enough to check out. Sorry, I just whacked the mic. Is the Redline fixed blade. I saw another video, a couple of videos about it, where a certain person didn't like it. I found it great. I had two suggestions. One was knock a little of the G10 or the micarta off where the scales, you never feel it unless you go up there and rub it by the blade. I don't know what that's called, but just do it. Hit it on a belt sander. Meh. Bulldog, I can't wait to see that. But the Redline fixed blade is what I'm talking about. And I asked them, I said, this knife is going to be awesome. It's a great knife. Too big for me. It's a 5-inch blade. But I said, if you made this exact same knife in maybe a 5-inch blade, it would be a stone cold seller because people love big knives. I get that. And there's a great place for it. You know, this is the knife here. Let me pull it up. Shut up. I'm just trying to get a. This is my first knife video with an edit. Let me go back.
Alright,
Watch this edit.
guys.
And I don't cut on
It is
camera.
on the EDC. Maybe give it a horizontal option if they do an EDC, or put a couple of eyelets like they did in the Micro Canadian where you can mount your own carry method. But guys, we'll be right back in here. I'm going to stop the video.
Watch this
We're going to
fucked up
go
edit.
outside, do a little cutting, and we'll be back in here, see if it still cuts paper, wrap up, and we'll go. See you in a sec. Peace.
And I don't
Alright,
cut on
guys.
camera.
I have been out here for a little while with this Redline
The main thing is
4.5-inch handle.
that handle's so
And if I
comfortable.
measure it to that choil, it's 4 3/4. So 4 3/4 from here to here.
I think that would be a great smaller knife. I think it's great in big. Yeah, I mean, right now they're doing leather. They've got a guy that's doing leather for them. I think the Kydex would be great, but what I'd like to see them do on, if they did an EDC, I'd like to see them come up with a sheath like this or like this. This is what I mean by eyelet holes. This little knife, I never thought I would carry it because it's vertical. However, it rides so high on the hip, you don't even feel it. But they put eyelets in it. So if you want to use straps or a different carrying method, you can, but it's perfectly contained. You could get Artemis Holsters did a couple of sheaths for me, Kydex sheaths for about $35. They did one. Let me grab it because they do great work. These are the Kydex kids. So this little bull trout from Tops came with a leather sheath. I put the straps on it, but look at that lip to push it out, and listen to this retention. And they also make great holsters for, this is my internal carry for my P365. And then I keep, where'd it go? I've got a secret down here. Maddie, what's up, brother? I don't think you can show those on the tube, but yeah, I carry a House P232, an old SIG that's just awesome. This little gun, I mean, the 365 is great, but the little 232, I can show you the paddle. I keep that one here thinking one night, because I kind of live that. I know that, dude. They are totally. I got Friday night we went and we watched some Ryan Garcia video from the fight, and I didn't mute it, and I immediately got copyright struck. Now, I will say this, when you get copyright struck, you're exactly right, Rob. And when I got it used. I had to go in, take it apart, and get a couple of parts for it, which are really easy to come by. And it's awesome, dude. Awesome, awesome. But when I got copyright struck, you can get that fixed so quickly because you've got a choice to either mute the audio, clip the clip, have them clip it. And I say that, I always say clip, and it says leave it alone. This should be resolved in a couple hours because it takes it a while because it's all automated. It's quicker to get a copyright lifted when it's done like that. This wasn't a channel strike. This was a copyright strike on the monetization of the live. So I used to spend a lot of time and still like to. I like to show cool shit on YouTube and Instagram, but I've learned that if you do the whole music thing or the sound thing, it screws you. It really does. And see, I like watching shit like this. Hold on, I don't know how to mute these. I want to mute it because I'll get struck. Hold on, little funny shit. Let me find it. How do I mute it? How do I mute it? All right, we're not going to watch it because I'm not going to take a chance on having to wait. But yeah, we used to watch, like, I can watch a cat video or something or share you guys something whack, like a Mike Tyson training video, and the sound screws it. And I don't see any way to mute it where, uh, and y'all probably don't want to see this shit anyway, so it's probably all for the best. But there should be a way to mute it.
Hell no, I would hit you by accident either.
Oh, he's just letting him hit him. Never mind. But yeah, so you've always got to be careful with that. But all it does, I think it's a game for YouTube because for them, you think about it. If they can demonetize you while you're getting a lot of views, they don't have to pay out for those views. That's what I think about that. I cannot believe that I was able to fix my sound pads by just doing a reset. So what I was going to say, if you go to Blade HQ, because again, I'm trying to think of how to make my videos better, right? And I like top down. A lot of people think it's lazy. I get it. But to me, it's how I used to like to watch videos. Where did I just see somebody with a picture in picture? It must not have been Blade HQ. But people are starting to use, you can use StreamYard and you can go in here. Let's see if it'll let me share my StreamYard. Uh, entire screen. Let's see what that does. Share. No, see, it shows all that depth. I hate that. But basically, you've got these different layouts here at the bottom where you can go in and you can customize your layout. Can y'all see that? So I could go in here and I could add different stuff to make a screen to where I could do like a review video. Mel Complex did one today and you see his head in it. And to me, I see why he's doing it because you're doing personal branding too. But to me, it seemed a little distracting of the knife because his face was so little. Let me see if I can find it. It might have been his one on Sunday. Where was it? That's not it. But anyway, he started doing, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just got his little face up in the corner. So it's engaging, but yet to me, it's a little bit distracting. See it right here? Please don't give me a strike, Richard. I'm just showing. See, so this is a way to do, and he's doing his what's coming in news, right? So you've got your little picture here. I think you should have a little bit bigger picture, but this is better for the viewers to be able to see what's going on. But anyway, I'm looking for y'all's input. If y'all are happy with the way, and I don't get a lot of views on my long form content. So I really think that there's a lot that I could do to make it better. But like I said, I use knives for the way they make me feel more than the way they do different things, right? Oh, were you not seeing anything? What was I sharing? Rob, that's just what happens with an ADHD brain, man. I can promise you, you're not missing a thing. Not missing a thing. So I don't know how to make them better. You know, I think top down for the time being is the best way to do it. I did try to mess around and do a couple of tests using StreamYard, like starting out like this. Tell me if y'all could still hear me when I remove myself. Could you not hear me talking during that? Because it said my audio was muted. But what I could do is I could do stuff. I don't know, you know, I mean, I'd like to be able to switch back from like being able to say, welcome, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for your sub. Thanks for your channel membership. And then be able to just flip back to, so if I take myself off, there's no sound. So I don't know. I got to figure it out. I might just keep doing it the way I do it. I might go back and change a background or two, you know, freshen it up that way. I've thought about getting a camera, but I'll be honest with you, my iPhone, I've gotten so used to using it. It's just, I can't imagine me with my limited knowledge. Now, KC, Tri-State, people that know how to use cameras, uh, Lord Needham, Pocket Metal, tons of others. I could see how that would be very helpful. But for me, I just think simple's the best. That's why I got that overpriced soundboard, because my sound was so shitty. And it's kind of foolproof. What is up, Ground Fog? My Journey EDC, what's happening, brother? Mark Parks, what is up? Who else have I missed? Rob Ten Ring, have I said hey to you? Y'all are hearing sound now, I hope. I hope. Let me look at my settings. I hope you're hearing sound. Yeah. You should be hearing sound. That's exactly right. You know, I'll tell you something funny. I take care of my dad. He's got like dementia. He's in his 80s, but he doesn't have he knows who I am. But we were up there talking today about something, and I said, "Yeah, my ADHD, because I didn't get diagnosed till I was 46, about the time I got sober." And he didn't even know what it was, right? And he doesn't remember. But when I was going to therapy, they found out, because I lit them, that when I went to a pediatrician, my parents took me when I was 2, and I was diagnosed with hyperactivity disorder. This was 1969. Yeah, I'm dating myself. But they didn't really know much about it, right? So they sent me home with probably Ritalin or something like that. My mom and dad said it made me worse, which I'm sure it did. And they just quit medicating me. So I just kind of went through life with this fucked up brain, right? And it was a struggle, guys. I mean, I'll tell you, that's why I think I started drinking at a young age, because it allowed me to exist in a social situation. I was a social butterfly. So I was always in social stuff, but to do it sober would be terrifying. So I was, yeah. And you would only think that I might have a problem if you saw me sober. That's what's so scary about it, because I was so cunning. Addicts are liars. Not by choice, by survival. What they feel is survival, which you learn in the long run, it's not. But when you're active, it feels like survival. And you're not going to tell your employer, yeah, I'm wasted. You're going to go out and you're going to close the deal. Maddie, are you and Stevie doing Saturday night lives at all? I know y'all do Friday night, and I think you told me this before, but you know me, I have a squirrel brain, not a dolphin brain. I wish I had a dolphin brain. Have y'all ever seen, question, I want to see thumbs up or thumbs down real quick. Have y'all ever seen killer whales hunt seals? And I only mention this because if you follow physiology and modern medicine, they talk about brain capacity and thought processes having to do with the number of folds in your brain. So I forget what they're called, but they look like worms if you have your brain out, right? So killer whales and dolphins have more folds in their brain than we do. And guys, I can show you a video, but it looks like everybody's seen it. You'll have like 3 orcas hauling ass in this frozen Arctic water, and the ice has started to break up, and there might be a seal laying on the ice. And they'll swim under that motherfucker. I'm sorry, I cussed again. And they'll hit their tail to whack that bastard up. And it is, and then they do, I mean, they are so smart. And I don't know if y'all ever saw the movie Orca. It had Richard Harris in it. It was when I was a kid. And it didn't seem real at the time because I didn't know enough about whales. But what happened is they were whale fishermen and they killed this mama whale, and then the baby whale fell out on the deck, which sounds horrible, which it was, and they just threw it overboard to die. And what they didn't know is whales mate for life, right? So you saw that movie? So the dad killer whale watched all this shit go down, right? And so his mission was to fuck these people up in this boat, Richard Harris, Bo Derek, and these other people. Let me mute this because check this out. This is one I don't know if I've seen, but they push him out into the ocean there or whatever, and then they put their weight, all four of them, on the ice so it tilts down and he slides down into their mouth, and they just gobble him up. They're amazing animals. They're amazing animals. And there's a video I shared today, and I can't tell if it's fake or not. I don't think it is, but it could be. Let me see if I can find it. And y'all tell me if you think this is real or fake. I think I sent it to Pocket Metal because it was something I thought he might like. Let me see. Yeah. All right. So what we're looking at here is a windsurfer out here, and this is a balcony, and this is Australia. So I'm going to get this started again and watch what happens here in just a second. Right here. So do y'all think that's real? I actually do. I think I've seen that somewhere, but I mean, to see a great white breach the surface, I hate that it wasn't a seal, that it was a windsurfer. But the bad news there is by the time the whale realizes you're not what he wants,
The shit has turned to ice cream not.
yeah, you're a done deal then. And then I'll show y'all another killer video. Then I'll stop doing this because I know this drives y'all crazy. But this is something I sent to my mom because I send her the cute shit. And I do have some really, not really cute shit, but good shit. Hold on. Let me share it. So can y'all see what's happening there? That is a bobcat in a sand trap. And there are a bunch of ducks that just landed on the green. And I'm not going to let the sound play, but they're golfers waiting to go up on the green watching it. So here we go. Now he's in a sand trap. That's a deep sand trap. So to get speed out of that motherfucker is not going to be easy. Watch this. Go time. So that's what you call a successful hunt. And they're not big cats. I mean, they're not small. But what I wanted to show you, I like this one right here. He's waking up his puppy friend just to haze him. Watch this. Wake up. Wake up. What? What? You gotta love stuff like that. If y'all aren't watching reels on Instagram, because if you scroll randomly on reels, you will see some of the most whack, crazy stuff. I want y'all to watch this last one. And I know I keep saying the last one, but you guys know I'm a cat guy, right? So check this little guy out playing with his mom. Let me go back to the start. He's learning how to hunt. See this little buddy up there? Don't. He's doing the leap of death. Playing a game called Make It Bleed. And this is awesome too. I can't not show you this. Watch this. That's a sandbar. That's not water. But is that not a happy dog? He gets to the end of the sandbar, knows what the plan is. Oh, we're back. Winning. Such good stuff. And then the stuff I send to Pocket Metal and James B are all the horrible shit. I love this one. Have y'all seen this? The drunk guy at the air show? Watch this. He's being chased, by the way. And he just entered a federal runway. And the keys were in the plane. And he's hammered. And I don't think he's flown before. But he's got it going on. But we share some of the craziest stuff. This is kind of a good one. Not really, because it's fireworks. And it's kind of juvenile. We'll stop with that. How is the lek? My buddy's got a lek. I've not reviewed it. Which one was stays? What did I fall for? Because I'm sure I did. Gracian, you're gonna love it. Colin McGuire is probably, and there are a lot of them. But I talked to him in Nashville for over an hour, and he had this for me behind the table because he knew this is the one I wanted, and I wasn't going to be there till Saturday. He's a great guy. You'll be very stoked. I'll show you guys his page. We'll get back into nice stuff. And Colin was in here Friday night. Let's go Mag 10. Oh, damn it. I hate Instagram. It's search function. I hate Instagram search. Instagram search is lame. And Instagrams and a lot of social medias that we play in are not the best when it comes to liking knife people. But I mean, this guy is as good as they come. And he's talented. God, he's talented. I think he's up in Maine. I really was stoked to see this. I don't know how far he's come with it yet.
Wild one for you today. This has been done for over a week now. I just figured I get better engagement on the weekends, and
It's a slip joint. I don't know how to fast forward shorts, and I don't have much patience. But look at this blade. That glow carbon fiber. Look at that shit. Yeah. How awesome is that? He's just such a neat guy. I mean, meeting him was a pleasure, kind of an honor. I mean, he really is, because I've always been aware of his work from since I went to Blade Show, but just a good guy.
everyone, happy Tuesday. Hope you're all doing well. Have successfully returned from Blade. It was a great show. Just wanted to send a heartfelt thank you to everyone who came out.
Very, very humble. And I'll show you another one of my favorites. And this guy lives in the state that I live in, only about 40 minutes from me, tops. Dustin Driver. driver defense. He makes slip joints. He makes some of the baddest ass, and I've reviewed one. If you look through my videos, he makes some of the baddest ass modern folders. I'm going to show you the one that I've got. This. He makes awesome fixies. That's not the one I've got. I've got a splinter. But I'll show you the knife that my buddy A to Z has that I reviewed. It's got a material on it called, this is what I bought. I've got that guy. That's one he took to Nashville. But the one A to Z bought from him has a material on it called, is it semiconductor? It's this one right here. So I've got access to this knife. My buddy owns it. Semiconductor, superconductor inlay, the CPM magnet blade. Look at that line. And I've got a review on that knife. It is, I mean, for a custom, it is sweet. Now, it's not cheap, but it is, I mean, he does cool stuff. Driver defense, out of Gunnersville, all made in the USA. He's at knife shows. He'll be at Blade. I think he'll be at Blade. I know I'm exhibiting Blade show. Yes. No, that's 2023. He was at Nashville. That's where I bought mine. He may not be going. I'm not sure. He also does swords. But I mean, a true craftsman. I mean, that's what's amazing to me, are just what some of these people like Jason. That's the new Bowie CGRB. We can watch that. I don't want to hear it. I'm not crazy about this knife. I don't crazy about that blade, but that is new. The Pyrite's such a good knife. And these are really cool. I've got one of these. These are one of my new affiliates. I got one of the big ones, the field journal. I want a pocket journal. Let's see if there's anything else on here worth looking at. Uh-oh. This is going to be, I've seen this before. This is jacked up. Have y'all seen this? And Maddie probably tell me I'm falling for something else again. He's surfing behind a frickin' shark. No way. So is that fake too? I'm so gullible. Oh, this plane getting stolen at the air show's fake? I thought it might be. I mean, I'm gullible like that. See, I'm still partially convinced that we're all living in a simulation. I've got a few more years than most of y'all. And I think the proof's starting to add up. That somebody's pulling the strings and it's not us. Here's my little Nori finger axe. Let's make me big. This is a total, what I would call a novelty item, but a very cool novelty item because it's jimped all the way around. I still don't know what you'd use it for. Maybe to just go ham on somebody that's trying to take your Slurpee. But it's got this super cool little sheath that's magnetic. So you go clunk and it locks in, and then you've got this little lever you can push up so it won't come off. Pretty cool. What's up, Craig Vincent? Welcome, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday night. Happy Metal Mondays. I was hoping our buddy Pocket Metal was going to be able to drop in. That worries me that maybe he's having harder troubles than he was anticipating. Because it is tough when you depend on your computer for life and it wants to go haywire on you. But yeah, if you like Kydex sheaths, this is called Artemis. Let me pull them up because they do Kydex sheaths for Artemis sheaths. And a lot of knives they've got that are preset. So when I picked up the one for the bull trout, I could get it because it was a common knife, right? So, but if you have something that you want custom, they're not going to be as expensive as leather. So there's that. And let me go to their page and show you what they got going on. And it's the only place I've gotten lead time 10 to 14 days, whatever. I don't know where I subscribed. So let's go sheaths. So Becker, Boker, Benchmade, Bradford, Cold Steel, SE, Enzo, Giant Mouse. I mean, you can go down because most of them, a lot of the popular ones they've made. I've also got one from my White River small game. But they're 40 to 45 bucks. Well, let's see if they do customs. I thought they did. Because I've got the bull trout. So all the tots, for example, I ordered the bull trout straight off here and it fit perfect. I mean, let's see the bull trout now. Maybe they discontinued it. Oh well, but yeah, I would check here. Let's see if they do customs though. Colors, patterns, what's that? Don't care about that. I want to know about custom. Because then you can go in and you can choose the clip, the mounting method you want. Okay, it doesn't say anything about custom, so maybe let's do this. Custom Kydex. Jeez. Well, they're coming up first. Oh, these are probably going to be more expensive. Well, no. So anything under 5-inch blade from this company is going to be $34.99. Let's see where they are. Let's see if they're in USA. Where are these made? I don't know about them. I have no experience. So I always hate to recommend a company that I've not done business with. I would reach out to Artemis and see, grommets leather. I didn't know they did Kydex, but that's going to be expensive because that's got leather and Kydex. Super nice sheaths. Tippy. But yeah, check around. And unfortunately, if it's not a knife that they have a pattern for, you will have to send your knife off. And to me, that always sucks. But like I said, with my ProTech, it came back super, super fast. What's Oh, and he forges some of the coolest Damascus billets. Let me go back to his page because there's a picture here of him getting ready to drop some shit in the forge. I guess you forge. No, I guess you don't. You smelt, right? You smelt your billets. He doesn't even say what that is, but he's rest assured he's bringing some fire. And if you look at his finished, I mean, this is all his. He makes this Damascus. $10.84 and 15N20. And I'm sorry, guys, that's beautiful. 2 center bars, 1084, 15N20. I'm not a fan personally of the sitting proud scales on not just his, but on any knives. I like a full handle, but that's just me. But the dude is, I mean, next level on top of his game. And I mean, if I could show you guys, and I will, because I want to show you the grinds of this knife. This is a knife very similar to mine. CPM 154. Mine's got a toxic green liner where that one's burgundy. But check this out. Oh, I'm not sharing. Damn it. See, who was I telling? I was telling the Night's Edge that I at least screw up. Check that out. All I was saying is I'm not a fan of these handles as much. I'm more of a fan of these. And this is the one that I was showing you guys that I can't stress enough how nice it is. I'm going to show it to you in real life. Let's do this. Let's go back. Let's make this go away. Oh, wrong. Okay, sharpening choil and that plunge grind, totally straight. You got Colin McGuire on that side. Mag 10 knife works on the blade. Hold on, Tippy. You gonna stretch right there? Now she's on my knife table. It's all cutter air. But I mean, guys, what a fantastic knife. I put the deep concealment clip on it because I carry it in my back pocket. That's usually if I'm not appendix carrying my tiny knives. I'm a back pocket. This guy's getting ready to start making knives again. This is a Savant knife. CPM 3V. Thick, thick, thick little spike. And it slices. I'm addicted to small fixed blades. Midnight, what's up? Who have I missed? What's going on, my friend? I'm glad you made it in, buddy. Me too, Todd Carr. I love the look of Damascus. I'm just not, it's for me, and I think I'm a little more plain. Um, I don't know, but if it's done right, it does look beautiful. And I think Damasteel is beautiful, but that's not something that I would seek out because, again, it's more flashy. Palmer Conley, I'm going to put you on your first small fixie. If you can save up, I think $54. Hold on. This is the second one I picked up, and this is the last one I gave away because I love it. And I'm thinking if I had money right now, I would buy it again because this was the first one I had. That's out of stock. Let's go back to in stock. Boom. Right there, my friend. That is M390 micarta. You can take this clip off right here and you can put straps or an ulti clip, or you can use that clip, but it's 5.43 inches, 2.52 inch blade. It's a Wong design, super sharp, $54.99. Great little knife. But if we look at their ones that were not in stock, this is the first fixed blade I bought, or the first small EDC fixed blade. And this is smaller than a Chickadee. This little guy is S90V, $44, and it's 4.53 inches with the 2-inch blade. I gave that away too, but that was an awesome little knife. And then I had this one, which is 14C28N. I didn't like this because it's got that handle that's not all the way through, but it's got a cool blade, very sharp, great choil. $40. That's before Javon 10 or somebody else's code. So you save 10% off this. And these are the same, the TS 150, which when these come back in stock, regardless of color, I would recommend this knife to anyone. S90V, $44, sharp as shit. But my favorite is the one that's in stock, which is, and this one doesn't come with the sheath, so stay away from that. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? This guy. This guy's the real deal right here. If you're just looking for a little hard use fixie to carry, because I carry fixed blades as an enhancement to my regular carry, right? I love the little Bradford. I love my Guardian 3, even though it's bigger than what I normally carry EDC. This would be kind of more of a primary carry. My G-necker, my real small one, is great, but about the handle. I don't know if it's just me, but it's just I carry it. I love it, but it's just got a weird weight. And Palmer, don't feel bad, dude. I swore I would never buy a fixed blade. And I've only been in this game for around maybe 3 years as a viewer, knife kind of guy, getting into knives again. I swore I'd never do slip joints, never wanted a hinderer, never cared about a Chris Reeves. All of these things are now on my radar. So just keep an open mind and your shit will change. And it's okay to. And if it doesn't change, if you like the same thing, there's nothing wrong with that either. Everybody's journey's different, but we're all, the 3.5 does look cool, double detent. And I want a sheep's foot. Paul, I think they do in some cases use Van X. How many people make Damacore? There's Damacore and Damasteel, or are they both the same thing? See, so for me, I've got in my right pocket, I've got my Atom, which you would think would be my primary knife. But when a package comes in my back pocket, I've got my little tiny fixed blade, which in this case is the TKL Piranha. And then I've got a slip joint in my left pocket that I rarely get out. If I'm cutting food or something like that, cheese or some weird shit, I've whittled with it, but not a ton. But then you can get little fixies like, I think this is probably the best fixie currently in my collection. Oh, I love the TRM. But that is a T. Denny Apprentice Gen 2. This one's in crew wear. I've got an acid etched that is in Magna Cut. This is a nice, so nice. And it ships with a little Kydex sheath. I bought the Oak City leather sheath, but this is the Gen 1. The plunge doesn't come back quite as far. And these vintage caramel micarta scales are pinned in on the Gen 1. On the Gen 2, the scales are now screwed in, and the plunge grind has come back considerably. But, oh, shit. This is a street scalpel. It's John proof, and I'm not a good cutter. And it's Slurpee Saver. So he drops these. He does about 3 a week, maybe. Made in America. Let's go to his page. I've got to sweep my floor. Guys, I'm standing in like an inch of cut paper. Craig, I love them, dude. I mix them out too. I've probably got about that many, maybe a couple more because I'm an addict again. But let me show you what Tyler does. I have no affiliation with these guys except I'm a fan and a customer. Let me share this. If you're not following Tyler, he's worth the follow. But this is what he does. These are his little look at those different finishes, different handles, and he does some amazing carbon fiber. Let me find it's a different knife, but here's a little apprentice and one of his larger knives. But yeah, I mean, just next level stuff. And they're so slicey. But there's so many good makers. And I'll tell you who's one to look out for, who's probably going to be one of the best to come out in the next little while. He's got a 365 too. It's the same rig I've got. Sawtooth Dave. If you're not following Sawtooth, we'll go to his YouTube page. But he's about to be making some amazing knives. Right now, he's doing next level sick mods and regrinds. He's an absolute machining wizard and a nice guy. I met him twice at Blade Show. Absolutely a hugger, good guy. Look at that knife. Look at that Slim Mitty hologron. I mean, guys, it is impressive. Oh, I agree, Midnight. It's weird. I mean, I don't there's so much I don't get about knife companies, especially, and I know it's not a big deal, but with artisan cutlery and the AARPM 9 thing, that didn't need to happen. They didn't need to, and stuff like that just makes you think, oh, because again, you watch the video, don't judge it by the thumbnail. Nothing wrong with the steel. It's just trust is something you get one chance at, in my opinion. And maybe in their minds and in their language, they weren't telling an untruth. They just weren't speaking maybe in the metallurgical terms that we speak in. They knew that they were using a powder metallurgy coating. But who knows? I like for people to be transparent. I really appreciate that. Even if they're making a lot, a fair profit. I think there's a lot to be said for Rob. Again, all I ever tell people in my videos from my own personal experience is just keep an open mind, right? I mean, I'm glad I went kind of crazy on fixed blades and still do. But slip joints I thought was going to be a big problem. But I limited myself to 2 Jack Wolfs, 3 GECs, and then I got a bunch of inexpensive ones because when I first got into them, I was amazed at how much less expensive they were than the knives I had been buying. So I bought Rough Rider Reserves, all these different knives. I've given a lot of those away, but they're just fun knives. And I'll tell you guys, Tucson makes an amazing slip joint. This is just one that I have. This one was $88. It's in bone and M390. It's got great walk and talk. Most slip joints that I get from Boker or from GEC, even Jack Wolf, aren't this sharp. This is one of the sharpest from the factory slip joint. $88, White Mountain knives. They don't have them in stock right now, but they do have another one, a couple of others in stock that I've got. I gave several of them away, but one that I was surprised by. So we all think of the sod buster as being a big fixed blade, right, or a big folder, right? This is a gift from Jim Miller, but that's a full size knife. However, I'll order this off White Mountain Knives. It's a Tucson, and it didn't look. You can't tell if you don't read like I do. I don't read the specs. I just thought it was a little weird slip joint, but it is actually a huge slip joint. I had to get a high drink Knipex slip to keep it in, and it's too big to carry. It'll probably get given away at some point, but it's super cool. It's got really good snap, 14C blade, tall flat. Again, I hate to do this because I'm the one that's going to have to sweep the shit up. But again, Tucson from the factory. Has got their edges together. But that's a full-size slip joint. That's a big guy. So if I compare that to the side buster, it'll be shorter than the side buster, but it's more knife. Rob, it's good. And every Tucson I've purchased, even one that was $49 that was jade that I gave away, has been very good. And I'm going to show you one real quick that's in stock that I had, the copper version. And all Tucson nice knives, like slip joints, are about $88. And this one, mine was brass and titanium. This one's carbon fiber and titanium. It's this guy right here. Share screen. Let's go to this. Can you see that little knife? So this has got titanium bolts or titanium handle, and this carbon fiber is actually cut into it. So at the end of it, you can see it. Now it does have a clip, which I'm not a fan of, because when you take it off, you can see that little gap. They didn't give you a plug, but it's a long design, kind of a Bowie blade, M390, $84, which for a slip joint with those materials, it was a very sharp knife. I gave it away. And this is that one I just showed you guys. This one's $54. This big chonker, this big chode slip joint, and that's before discount. But if I'd have gone down here and read, I would have seen that it's 7.4 inches, but I didn't, because reading's for people who know how to read. That's not a slip joint. So anyways, slip joints can be had for very, very, very good values. And Rob, you're exactly like me. I spent, and I'll tell you the story that Dark Gravity and Shane shared with me, but the first couple of years, because I was into the dopamine of having an incoming package. So I was buying budget knives 2 a week, maybe 3 a week. And I was collecting Civivis, Kaiser Vanguards, all kinds of knives. I had 2 cases full of them. I've given away probably over 100. But what Dark Gravity told me, he said, I see you flipping those knives, but I see you carrying, but you've got so many. Have you ever thought about, a hinderer? And I'm like, dude, I'm not paying $400 for a knife, $425 for a knife. That's, I didn't even have my Benchmade 940 at this time. And he was like, John, do you realize, go look at your case and just say each one was $50 and tell me how much money's in there. And I had to go 46 times 50. Oh, fuck. So, and Shane proved it too. It's the hedgehog slip is awesome, Gracian. I'm carrying mine right now. But if you just change the way you buy, like if you buy budget knife a month, let's say a budget knife a quarter, if you can just put that money back, if you want something nicer, not everybody does, but the hedgehog is great. And I learned something from my buddy A to Z. He's got one of these traditional pocket knife hedgehogs, but he's also got a titanium one, and the titanium one's considerably thinner. I didn't know that. This one actually feels comfortable in my hand. Double D10, don't feel scared. I was at first. It levels itself off. It really does. You'll learn one way or another. I mean, I've made so many stupid decisions. I've got a stupid decision on NAF sale right now, which will make somebody a great decision because it's so cheap. But I paid $500 for that PMP Tianto. And I look at what I could have had for that. And I love the knife. It was Metal Complex's video kind of got me fired up about it. I was into big knives, and it's just a freaking chonk. So I understand why I bought it. Not really. I can see why I fell in love with it. Check this thing out. What? OEM by Max Ace. It's got a flipper tab if that's your jam. Whoops. Flipper tab if that's your jam. Deployment hole. Full size knife. See if I can get my eyes lined up with the hole. But it is the beast. And what I love about it is it's got flathead hardware. So I used a nickel. I put skiffs in it. I used a nickel with actually this dime. Here's a trick for you Hinderer owners. Get you a dime or a nickel or a penny and put some painter's tape on it. The only reason I do that is not to scratch my hardware. And then you can use that to adjust your pivot. But this beautiful behemoth biatch is available. And while we've got it out, we might as well it's a flat grind. It would be a great knife to send off for a hollow. And the point is thicker, but still very slicey. So for any of you who are looking to do something crazy, that's a one owner knife, like new in box. It's cut paper. Been in a few videos. Got a little certificate of authenticity. It's numbered. It's obnoxious. Caught me in a moment of weakness when I had money in my pocket. I'm sure that's happened to y'all before. But yeah, guys, everybody got a busy week. Things going on. I've got a conference call tomorrow at 10 that could be a little bit different. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm glad everybody came and hang out. We've been here about 3 hours. It's getting late. It's after 12. I need to let y'all get to bed. But I love each and every one of you. I appreciate you all for coming and hanging out. I do hope that you come see me again on Friday night. We'll have a cool giveaway. And remember, check the pinned comment. We're trying to get some subs over to our friend MPG EDC. And I think that'd be cool if we could do that. And we'll have a cool knife. It's actually, I'll give y'all a little hint since y'all stuck around. It's going to be a button lock, a cleaver, raccoon, Lite G10. I really dig it. So, guys, we'll play you some music. I want to ask you, like I always do, to please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for each other. I love each and every one of you. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.